Good morning. 3 people, including an Islamist gunman, are dead after commandos storm a cafe in Sydney, Australia to end a 16-hour siege. Heavy snow hits the Gangwon-do province with sub-zero temperatures greeting the region. The peninsula is also expecting a drop in temperatures. Enhancing the bathing experience with a detox bath. Additives are said to have additional effects in ridding the body of toxins. And Korea's largest app expo. See what these apps on your smart devices can do with Derek Stelma on Korea Today, Tuesday, December 16th, 2014.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
And a good Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining us on Korea Today. I'm Kim Young alongside Jin Ju and Kim Min Jung.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who had dreaded waking up to a pile of snow this morning on the road, well, that was not to be, at least in Seoul.
Right. Snow turned into rain, and it wasn't as slippery as we expected and concerned about because I was really worried about getting to work this morning
Right.
if the roads had turned too slippery.
But it's a completely different story over in the eastern Gangwon-do province. There is at least 20 centimeters of snow. It's about that much. That is a lot of snow.
Yep, it looks like the Gangwon-do province was the only area that was cold enough to retain the snow, and it did pile up there. We'll have more on the snowfall in Gangwon-do province later on with our Chun Sung-cho joining us. But for now, we jump to our top story for this morning. 3 are dead with several people hospitalized following a raid to end the siege on a chocolate shop in Sydney's business center.
That's right. What had started out as a peaceful Monday morning ended in a horrifying night. Though Australian police had wanted to end the hostage situation peacefully, there was a dramatic and bloody end to the 16-hour-long crisis.
And we're going to connect live to our Eunice Kim following the developments for us at the news center. The gunman's been shot dead and 2 of the hostages were killed. What's the latest on the situation?
Well, Young, New South Wales Police Commissioner Andrew Scipioni said their number 1 priority right now was to make sure that those hostages, presumably shaken and distressed, were taken care of. He didn't give much tactical detail. He said that forces made the call to go in when they decided that any further delay would mean more lives lost. A barrage of gunfire in the early hours of Tuesday. Police stormed the cafe when a loud bang was heard from the inside and hostages ran out, killing the lone gunman in the swift 2 a.m. operation, that is midnight Korea time. Police say there were 17 people held inside, 5 of whom were hospitalized. Tragically, 2 others in their 30s, a man and a woman, were pronounced dead. It remains to be seen whether they were shot and killed in a crossfire or by the gunman himself. Now, a bomb disposal robot was also sent into the building, though no explosives were immediately found.
Now, Eunice, we understand that negotiations were ongoing with the suspect before the raid actually commenced. Were there any details released of the demands of the gunman?
Well, there were reports that the Iranian-born man Haron Monis had demanded an Islamic State flag as well as a phone conversation with Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott. Now, all of this began around 9:45 a.m. on Monday. Local time, police and bomb squad flooded the central business district known as the Martin Place, which is where that Lind Chocolate Cafe is located. Martin Place also houses the state premier's office and the headquarters of 2 of the country's largest banks, so certainly very central in location. People stuck inside were seen pressing their hands against the window of the cafe, as well as a black and white Islamic flag bearing the Shahada. The iconic Sydney Opera House was also evacuated as a precaution. Now, in the afternoon, 5 hostages managed to flee about 6 hours after the gunman took hold of the cafe cafe. That's three men and 2 women, including a Korean-Australian college student who was working at that shop as a staff member.
And she was one of the first to have escaped or was let go by the gunman. And we're also receiving new details about this gunman, man Harun Monis, and he's apparently sympathetic to the Islamic State group, though it doesn't seem to be that he was a formal member there.
Yeah, that's what his personal webpage seems to suggest. His former lawyer also coming out to tell local media that this was an act by one individual whose common sense was clouded by an extremely strong ideology. Now, reports say the 50-year-old was an Iranian refugee, a self-styled religious leader, also known as a sheikh, who had no known followers. He was known to authorities with a distinct rap sheet. He was charged last year with being an accessory to the murder of his ex-wife. And back in 2012, he was convicted of sending grossly offensive letters to families of soldiers killed in Afghanistan. He was reportedly out on bail on charges of sexual assault in a separate case and had recently converted to Sunni Islam from Shia Islam. And that is the latest from me, Eunice Kim, for Korea Today.
Now, to find out what the current situation is in Sydney, we have President of the Korean Society of Sydney, Mr. Song Seok-jun, joining us live on the line this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So it must have been a terrifying day for all of those in the city. How are the people coping with what happened there?
Yeah, actually, there was a bombing over Sydney Hilton Hotel by terrorists in 1978. Since then, there is no terrorist attack here at all. Then people in Sydney were very shocked with the Martin Place Muslim terrorist. People now seem relaxed after 16 hours hostage events at the Lint Chocolate Cafe.
Mm-hmm. And many here in Korea were also concerned about the Korean-Australian female college student, only identified by her surname Pae, who was taken as one of the hostages in this siege. Have you heard from her since her escape? Do you know how she's doing now?
Yeah, all Korean community in Sydney were very happy seeing her dramatic escape from the hostage situation where 17 hostages were held. Her family must be very shocked with this instance. But it's good news. She's not injured and safe. But her family are very reluctant to contact or talk with any media. So we don't know anything about her or her family current situation.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Song, was there any word you've come across about what the situation was like inside the cafe yesterday?
Yeah, we heard this morning 3 people died from police raid early this morning, including Iranian-born terrorist man Harun Monis, and 1 woman and 1 man. At least 4 hostages injured and hospitalized. Police Commissioner Andrew said they made a decision after heard the gun shooting inside the cafe. He said police took emergency action. Otherwise, there were more people could be killed or injured.
Mm-hmm. And there was some crossfire before this whole siege ended. How is the local community in Sydney reacting to how the police dealt with this deadly siege?
People in Australia trust police very much and proud of them. We believe they did their best to minimize victims on this terror attack. New South Premier Mark Baird said this morning and praised police action. He said the city had been shaken by the tragedy that none of us could ever imagine and called upon come together and never before. Unbelievably, overnight, we have lost some of our own in attack we never thought we would see here in city. The event that we have seen have shaken us, but they do not dampen our resolve.
Well, our thoughts go out to the victims and their families, and we do hope that the city will recover soon from this terrible experience. Thank you, Mr. Song, so much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
That was Mr. Song Seok-jun, president of the Korean Society of Sydney, joining us live from Australia.
Good morning. It's now time to run through the front pages of your newspapers. And the same face is on all the local papers today, and that is of Park Ji-man, the younger brother of President Park Geun-hye. Now, he was questioned by prosecutors yesterday over the widening scandal involving a leaked presidential document dubbed the Cheongyunhae document. Let's take a look at how Gyeongyang-Shinmun has featured the story. And the headline says, President's brother stands in front of prosecution. Now, taking a look at these sub-headlines, also the head of EG Corporation, Park Ji-man, told reporters that he will tell the truth to prosecutors as he showed up at the Seoul District Prosecutor's office in southern Seoul at around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. The younger Park apparently received more than 100 pages of leaked presidential documents. He was expected to be grilled on how he obtained these documents and whether he asked the presidential office of Cheongwade or the state intelligence body to look into the documents about him. Meanwhile, we'll go to another key headline on 동아일보 regarding the nut rage or the nut return incident. The title says, Korean Air tries to cover up, only causing more rage. So the humiliating scandal surrounding Korean Air ex-Vice President Cho Hyun-ah seemed to have subsided somewhat on Friday after she delivered a public apology to express her remorse for her behavior on board an Incheon-bound flight. However, two separate revelations over the weekend actually caused a backfire, creating more public outrage, particularly due to the fact that Korean Air had tried to swiftly settle the issue by diverting attention elsewhere without getting to the bottom of the matter. Meanwhile, the Seoul Western District Prosecutor's Office said it told Cho Hyun-ah to appear for questioning at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Now we'll switch gears to the economy, going to the Mail Business newspaper. For the top headline here regarding North Korea, the title says North Korea shows interest in mobile payment system. So Pyongyang has been showing keen interest in electronic payment lately as the North is reportedly stepping up efforts to develop scientific technology for economic revival. Now, the country has also been working to bring stabilization to Kim Jong-un's leadership as tomorrow marks the third anniversary of Father Kim Jong-il's death, meaning it's been 3 years since Kim Jong-un succeeded rule of the country. If we take a look at this sub-headline, it says an honorary president who teaches students at Pyongyang University of Science and Technology was interviewed by The Daily. Now, he elaborated on the changing North Korean society since Kim Jong-un came into power, including the North's interest in electronic payment systems appearing in the global market. And finally, we'll go to the Korea Economic Daily, wrapping up with this article. It's at the bottom of the front page regarding the services industry, and the article is called UK Makes Use of Palaces for Business, Korea Bans Lodging at Cultural Assets. Now, the story takes note of the services industry in Korea, which has been facing more threat in today's society. In particular, the government has been trying to expand lodging facilities and accommodations to further invigorate the tourism industry. However, if we take a look at this graph, the country has continued seeing a lack of rooms in which tourists can stay at, while the number of tourists, foreign tourists traveling to Korea has been growing vividly throughout these years. Thus, the government says it plans to execute a special bill to expand lodging facilities by the end of next year. And that was a look at our local headlines for this Tuesday, and following are the stock numbers from Monday.
As we mentioned at the top of the hour, the snow that had been in the forecast turned into a bit of rain, and it rained quite a lot overnight.
Right, and we're expecting some cold and icy winds starting this afternoon. And for more on the weather forecast, let's go over to our Chun Sung-cho, who's standing by outdoors.
Good morning to you, Sung-cho.
Good morning, guys. I'm reporting live from Hangang Park. Yes, it snowed quite a bit here in Seoul last night. But fortunately, all of it melted as it fell on the ground without piling up. Drivers, though, should still watch out for slippery roads this morning as some of them are still wet. And over in Gangwon-do province and the southern regions, excluding the coastal areas, they're still receiving either snow or rain as of now. All heavy snow advisories have been lifted, but in the upper part of Gyeongsangbuk-do province, about 10 centimeters of snow has come down in the last 24 hours. Pyeongchang in Gangwon-do province was bombarded with almost 20 centimeters. Snow is expected to stick around in the southwest part of the peninsula until tomorrow, but it's not in the forecast for the central regions. Conditions will gradually clear out as a system of high pressure will take over this morning. The problem now is a cold snap that comes with it. The wind chill factor will also come into play, lowering the temperatures as low as negative 11 degrees Celsius here in Seoul next morning. Winds are already blowing stronger now than yesterday, and people should brace themselves for another brutally cold day. And with that, let's take a closer look at today's temperature readings. Notice the lows and highs are the same for Seoul, both below freezing. Mercury levels won't rise even in the afternoon, and the same goes to pretty much all around the country. Midday highs range from negative 4 to 7 degrees, with Seoul being the coldest and Jeju being the warmest. This is all for me with the weather forecast. Back to Yang.
Thank you very much, Sung-cho, for the updates on the weather. Now, the summer blockbusters might be making headlines during the summer, but it's also the holiday blockbusters that come out to grace us with during the winter holidays. And our Im Yoon-hee joins us with a few of them that are sure to rock the boat here. Good morning.
Good morning. Right, so I have 3 movies that seem to have the recipe for success. They all feature some of this year's hottest actors. Now, they come just in time for your family for the holiday season. Take a look. In the midst of the Korean War, during the Hungnam evacuation of 1951, thousands of Korean refugees were taken south. Amongst them, a boy named Toksu and his father. But when they realize their sister has gone missing, Toksu's father goes off searching for her and sends Toksu away with his mother and other siblings. The movie stars Hwang Jung-min and Kim Yoon-jin and shows the history of the Korean War through one man's life.
Even just the mention of the word dead stirs up emotions, so we thought about expressing that in the movie.
The Korean hanbok plays a role throughout Korean history, but just how big of a role can clothes really have? The new movie, The Tailors, is set in Korea's Joseon Dynasty period and features the story of the royal palace's hanbok artists. A rivalry sparks up between Do Seok, the current hardworking hanbok clothier, who's worked for the royal family for over 30 years, and the new free-spirited Gong Jin, a designer who recently captivated the attention of the entire palace.
It's about the kind of love we experience, the love between men and women, and the love that can transcend the classes.
Another movie to hit the silver screen soon is Criminal Designer. Chi-hyuk is an ace safecracker, and he's recently set his eyes on the customs department at Incheon International Airport, where a potential heist sits with a price tag of over 150 billion won. However, customs at Incheon has some of the best security in Asia, and the crew only has an hour or so to do the job. The movie boasts a star-studded and young lineup with actors Kim Woo-bin and Lee Hyun-woo.
Wow, looks like an action-packed movie there, starring this year's hottest actors, Kim Woo-bin and Lee Hyun-woo. Now, these guys are all over the TV screens these days, both on the small screen and variety programs and on the films. But that second movie about the hanbok, The Tailors, now that stars Han Seok-kyu, one of my favorite actors.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep, and that seems to be really interesting as well.
Right, so this is a little bit of a different movie. It's actually the first silver screen feature all about royal attire. And so there's also, of course, it touches upon other aspects of the royal family life.
life. But here you really get to see over 1,000 different hanboks that they used for the filming. And they said that they set the budget for this movie for just hanboks alone at just under $1 million. And so you can imagine how beautiful these hanboks are. And the actresses, they actually mentioned that they loved filming this because they got to wear all these gorgeous hanboks that, nowadays you really don't get to wear that often.
And I'm sure some of the masters of the hanbok dressmaking have gotten together for that film.
The best.
Now, going back to the first film, the ads have been out, but I recall the name's a little bit different. There's a discrepancy there.
Right, so the Korean word for is 국제시장. That's the Korean name for this movie, and it's actually about, it translates to international market, but it actually refers to the open market that still exists to this day in Busan. And so this market actually was established after the Korean War when many of the refugees went to set up and tried to sell some of the leftover war goods. But this movie does center around this market, and so this market, when they filmed there, they said that the vendors were very supportive of the filming because, they got to put their market on the front of this movie.
And of course, this film, people who watch that, they may want to, people that haven't visited might want to go, and people who know about it will kind of like to recap over there, right?
It's really a great place to go check out.
All right, sounds great. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure.
All right, still ahead on Korea Today. One of the big things for the past few years has been detox drinks, but there's also the detox bath. And there's nothing like a warm bath to really help you relax at the end of the day. And more people are getting into this detox bath trend. From salt, mugwort to seaweed, plenty of additives are being used to enhance the experience. We're going to learn more about the effects of these baths.
The latest additions to the growing family of animation vehicles in Korea, or more specifically in Seoul, are Rubby cleaning trucks and Buka Merry Christmas.
Christmas, huh? Interesting. Well, I'm losing track of them, really. There's just one too many now. And they'll be joining Pororo taxis and Rudolph the Tayo buses in turning the greater Seoul area into a giant comic book. And Seobi Sorang has more on this. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys.
Are you enjoying this?
I am. The list just keeps going. So today we have Buka and Rubby. So let's start with Buka first. So on one side of the bus, Buka and her boyfriend Karu are having a snow fight, while on the other side they're just relaxing by a fire. So 300 Seoul City public transport buses will be transformed into these Buka Merry Christmas buses, and you can catch them until January next month. Next, Rubby. He's a character in Tayo the Little Bus animation series. He comes out as one of Tayo's close friends and is actually a cleaning truck in the series as well. 6 of Seongnam City's cleaning trucks have been transformed into the Rubby cleaning trucks.
I'm sure the children are really happy to see their favorite characters on the road, but as a parent, it's more homework for you because you have to take the kids onto these things, or at least not the cleaning truck.
Yeah,
but
at least these ones.
I don't know, the novelty kind of wears out a little bit.
And you'll have to travel to Seongnam to see that Rubby cleaning truck.
But one upside to this, even if you're an adult, is that they put a smile on people's faces, right?
That's true.
And with these, actually the drivers of the Seongnam cleaning trucks, they said they usually have at least a few impatient drivers behind them honking their horns because the trucks have to move slowly to do a proper job, and it does slow the traffic down. But they say that since the Rubby trucks have been introduced, they get significantly fewer honks. So people seem to be more willing to wait.
Who can dare honk at Rubby?
Exactly. Now on to another change that's happening to the streets of Seoul. 1 in 3 letterboxes, 1 in 3 post boxes, and 1 in 6 telephone booths will be removed by the end of next year. It's part of Seoul City government's plans announced yesterday to clean up this whole footpath and make it more convenient for pedestrians. So, in addition to phone booths and letterboxes, roadside shops and shoe repair booths that don't get much traffic will also be removed.
Oh, those post boxes, they have to be there. It's, it's a symbol of, communication.
And there's one right in front of our station, so I think we should secure that one.
We'll man that post box.
Make sure that it's not one of the 3. Now, wrapping up on some entertainment news, group EXO released a short teaser video yesterday of their latest single titled December 2014, A Winter's Tale. Now, a bit of drama with this one. The video was supposed to be released at midday yesterday. So fans all over the world were on standby around that time, but 12 turned to 12:30, 12:30 turned to 1, and still no video. Turns out SM Entertainment needed more time to edit the videos, and they said that they will upload the video by the afternoon. So fans kept waiting, and afternoon turned to evening, and the video was finally released a little bit before 10 p.m. So let's check out this long-awaited teaser.
I love the melody. It's worth the wait. So what's that game that Tanya's playing in
In the beginning? Yeah.
The $1,000,000 question there.
So it's not a random game. It's actually a game developed by SM Entertainment. So they're plugging it on their own music video. It's a game where the user has to tap on the screen in rhythm to the songs by the company's artists, such as Girls' Generation, EXO, Super Junior, and so on. And actually, in EXO's case, the full song to this, December 2014, it will be released through the game as opposed to traditional outlets this Friday.
So that game has a special meaning.
More reason to download the game.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Rai.
You're welcome.
And coming up on Korea Today, from online to offline, 앱쇼코리아 2014 was all the buzz for gadget geeks and IT lovers. Derek Stelma takes us to the country's largest application exposition to get experience on the latest technologies, everything from drones to augmented reality. So stay tuned.
And a good Tuesday morning to you all as we kick things off with the ongoing issue with the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Games. And with several ideas being pushed, the latest idea has the South and North Korea co-hosting the event. Now, the Dangun National Peace and Unification Council, which represents 120 civic groups, pushed the idea of having both Koreas host the 2018 Winter Games, stating that it will be cost-saving. Now, with the nation against the idea of Korea and Japan co-hosting the Winter Games, the civic group added that an inter-Korean Winter Games will greatly contribute to the peace in the peninsula and increase the chance of unification. And now shifting over to domestic football, as the president of the KFA, Chung Mong-gyu, held a luncheon on Monday along with 5 K-League Classic managers. And there, Chung Mong-gyu talked about improving the quality of the domestic league, asking for the coaches to play a more aggressive football in order to entertain the fans. With the average goals per match at 2.22 goals this year, and went down from 2.55 goals from last year, as the head of the KFA added that the K-League Classic was too defense-oriented. Despite the total goals going down, the attendance did rise in 2014, averaging nearly 300 more fans per match this season compared to the 2013 season. And speaking of more offense, with the week-long training session in Jeju beginning on Monday for the Korean national football team, offense was the focus of manager Uli Stilike as the head coach held a brief press conference in Jeju. And just like it was expected, the biggest focus of the 60-year-old head coach was the offense, as the team is without Lee Dong-guk and Kim Shin-wook due to injuries. And with the forward position up for grabs, he stated that he'll focus on the goal scoring during the week-long training. He added that no one is guaranteed a spot on the Asian Cup, including Cha Do-ri, who is expected to retire from the national team after the Asian Cup. Now, we're a little more than 2 weeks away until the new year, but we can say that 2014 was certainly the year of Kim Hyo-ju. Now, after an impressive victory over at the Chinese Women's Open over the weekend, she was able to receive prize money in all 27 events that she competed in this season. Of the 27 events, she finished top 10 in 22 of the events and won 7 for a 26% winning percentage. Now, currently ranked 8th in the latest world ranking, she's expected to compete in more events next year, as fans are already looking forward to her 2015 season. And that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day, and see you guys again for your sports needs.
As the cold weather settles in, more people are heading to hot springs or spas, and a growing number are trying out so-called detox baths. A detox bath refers to when you use various additives to cleanse your body and relax. The added elements help prevent the water from cooling quickly and improve blood circulation. This in turn stimulates the body's metabolism and helps release waste. As these additives are helping people relax and rest their minds in the midst of all the stress that they encounter, home spa products are becoming more popular. Salt, which uses osmotic pressure to draw out toxins, mugwort, that stimulates blood circulation and help relieve any pain in the body, and vinegar, which aids in releasing sodium, are some of the natural bath additives that can be used. Recently at hospitals, medical spas designed to help the treatment and recovery of patients are being offered. Seaweed salt is used for detox, soothing, and balancing the body, while eucalyptus essential oils are used to relax tight muscles. With growing interest in detox baths, there are also Korean medicine spas that are prescribed by professional doctors based on the patient's needs and body conditions. We'll get a closer look at this detox bath trend and what kind of effects it has on the body.
Is it a fact or a fad? Detox baths, we're going to be talking about that. Do you enjoy taking detox baths or baths in general?
I think I need a bath in general.
Well, a lot of people these days put in all kinds of stuff in their baths. We'll find out if they're any good.
All right, Dr. Nam Dong-woo from Kyunghee University Korean Medicine Hospital joins us with more on these detox baths. So what's the bottom line?
Hey, good morning. Well, in detox bathing is very highly recommended in Korean medicine. Various bathing methods or the herbal additives are introduced in the Korean medicine classics, 동의보감. Well, the bathing itself heats up the body and stimulates the circulation of the blood and also the metabolism. And also it helps release the toxins from your body and your body wastes. But when you add additives, it will enhance these effects. And the various chemicals of the herbs will enhance anti-aging effects or anti-inflammation effects and various effects, other effects, and also not only the chemical effects, but also the scent of the herbs will act as an aromatherapy.
So that sounds like a yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And will give you that feeling of relaxation while you're taking the bath. And I've heard of putting in wine or cheongju, that's rice wine, for detox baths. But what kind of elements should be included in the additives when you're taking this detox bath?
Well, as for wine, it contains a material called, substance called alpha hydroxy acid or lactic acid, which is good for keratin. So it moisturizes your skin and improves skin problems. And also the alcohol, it enhances the blood circulation, so it will help release the body toxins.
I don't want to like making baths myself, but I like going to hot springs, and some people enjoy going to hot springs with sulfur, the smelly stuff, and also natural carbonation. Are these any good for the body? And
yes, well, the hot springs contain rich minerals which are good for preventing various diseases or improving diseases. For example, sulfur hot springs are good for sick house syndromes or atopic diseases or gastrointestinal disorders or joint disorders. And for carbonate hot springs, it's good for skin disorders and enhancing the blood circulation and metabolism. But if you're extremely tired and your immunity is down, you should avoid visiting the hot springs.
Okay, well, there are a lot of different additives out there that you can add to your bath to make your bathing experience a more detoxifying experience. Now, we'll look at some of the Korean traditional herbal medicine style of baths in this next report.
When it comes to Korean medicine spas, depending on body type, various ingredients from 100 types of medicinal herbs are used.
Korean medicine spas use detox medicinal herbs suited for your body type, which is determined after carrying out a test.
Body types can be determined using the O-ring test. When positive stimulants are used, the muscles get stronger, but the opposite occurs with negative stimulants.
고객님의 체질은 소음인이십니다.
According to the test, my constitution is soulmin, so now I wonder what type of Korean spa is appropriate for me. Korean medicine spas are carried out in retinispora tree bathtubs that emit phytoncide. Herbal water made from ginseng, which is good for the skin, as well as kamcho that relaxes the muscles, hwangi that reduces heat in the body, kamguk that relieves pain, yugunpi that removes inflammations and controls insomnia, and many other ingredients are added to the detox bath.
I'm very comfortable in here, and then I feel like my body and soul are very healed with this Korean spa.
Usually, to improve the immune system and provide detoxification qualities, we boil ginseng, omija, and yugunpi together and add it to the bath. A lot of people catch colds in the winter. And to prevent this, we use water boiled from chrysanthemums or cinnamon for bath.
When it comes to detox bath this winter, what's most important is to select the additives that are right for you to stay healthy.
Okay, so you get some of the aromatherapy at these spa baths, right? But the Korean traditional medicine style of bath, herbal bath, it's more tailor-made, right? So there's certain ingredients that, depending on our body types, are good for us. So can you tell us
Because Young and I, for example, we have different body types.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course. No. Just I'm just, just for the visual effect.
All jokes aside, it's true. There is that you're a Somin, right?
We'll let the doctor tell us.
Well, for example, Young Kim here seems to be a Taemin. These people tend to have excessive heat and also dampness in their body, so they tend to sweat a lot.
I'm not damp.
Well, yes. The galgun is good for these people. It will help them sweat out the toxins from their body. And also green tea or salt is good for these people because it will clean out their sweat glands to prevent body odors from sweating too much.
Well, thank you, doctor, for making me sound like a sweaty pig. But yeah.
Well, takes one to know one, right?
As for Minjung, she seems to be a Soyangin, and these people tend to have prominent noses and sharp chins, but relatively wide shoulders, and they're always in a hurry.
You're so right on the money. Wow.
Well, these people tend to have dry skin, so sukjiwang is good for them. It will moisturize their skin. Also, mint is good for them to relax the restlessness of the mind.
Do you have dry skin?
I would like some peppermint tea right now.
Is that statement true? Do you have dry skin?
Not so much, but the nose and the chin and the shoulders, I think,
Shoulder,
for sure.
I disagree. Shoulder? You don't have my shoulder.
Well,
what about Jinju?
For Jinju, she seems to be a Somin, so they tend to be very skinny,
indigestion,
white,
right?
and cold.
Indigestion,
yes.
right?
So yes, they have frequent digestion problems.
Okay,
mugwort or tangerine peels and rice wine is good for them. It will heat up the body and enhance their immunity.
So I can use some rice wine in my detox bath at home, but are there any other simple additives that we can add to our bath when we're trying to detox our body?
Citrons or yuja is good for rheumatism or neuralgia, and also tangerine peels are good for stiff shoulders or stiff necks. So you can collect your leftover peels and dry them in the shades, and then just simply wrap it up in cotton cloth and put it in your bath. And also green tea is very good for your skin. It provides plenty of vitamin C and also antioxidant substances.
I would imagine the water temperature and how you take the bath it makes a difference. What is the recommended method?
Well, if you take a bath in hot water, maybe 42 degrees Celsius, it's good for common cold and recovering from fatigue or stress. But if you have pain or joint disorders, warm water from 40 to 42 degrees is more effective. But if you have heart problems, this can be a burden to your heart, so water from 37 to 38 degrees will be better.
So not too hot.
Yes.
And any other small tips that you can give us before you go?
I think Jinju's onto something now. She wants to take a real bath.
Straight to the market for some of that rice wine, right?
Right.
Well, for detox purposes, lower body bathing or 반신욕 is more effective. So you should fill up your tub about 60% and sit in the tub until you sweat, but try not to exceed 20 minutes in the bath. And also avoid bathing right before or right after eating because it will influence your digestion. And also it will be ideal for you to bathe after about 1 hour after eating. Yes, and maybe if you drink warm tea or maybe half a glass of wine before you bathe, it will help heat up your body and release the toxins from your body.
But no more than half a glass.
Yes, you'll get drunk.
I'll keep that in mind. All right. Thank you, Dr. Nam, for
Thank
your
you. You're welcome.
insight today.
Thank you.
예쁜 꽃송이도 넣었고요 그대 노을빛에 머리 곱게 물들면 예쁜 꽃모자 씌워주고파 냇가에 고무신 벗어놓고
Okay, during this time of the year, there are expos and, well, basically expositions as well as display shows that show the latest in technology and application software. And we're going to check out an event that actually had the best in applications. Joining us is Derek Stelma.
Good
who
morning,
actually had a
Derek.
chance to
Good to
attend.
see you yet again.
Good morning.
Pleasure to be with you. Yeah, one of the fields I think in information technology we use most in our lives is definitely mobile technology, more specifically with smartphone apps and their
It's
the
taking
phones as
over.
well. Yeah, and so I went to this exhibition, check out all the latest trends and see what all the newest things are. Let's go take a look at what we have coming up in store for you. 앱쇼코리아 is where you can get a look at off-the-wall apps in Korea that can be used in daily life. 80 of the most influential app developing companies were invited to the event, sparking up a ton of interest and attention. So the first thing that caught my eye as soon as I stepped in are the drones. There are a lot of different types, and of course the kids love them. I love them too, to be honest with you.
That is awesome.
It is, it's really cool. So you have the drones in the air, and you also have the drones like the RC cars, like the hammer on the ground. So you can control the device just by using your like you're using a steering wheel in a car. And there's a camera built into the car. That's the most notable feature, where you can see the outside world and you can actually record things using your smartphone.
어떻게 작동하는지 좀 설명해 주시겠어요?
카메라 영상이 실제로 이렇게 실시간으로 영상으로 화면에 보이게 되네. 그리고 좌우 조향도 이런 식으로 조정이 가능하고요. 아래로 내리면 뒤로 갑니다. 위로 올리면 가고요. 이 자동차를 갖다가 집에 있는 인터넷 공유기에 연결을 시킬 수가 있습니다. 연결을 시키게 되면은 이 차는 집 안에 있지만 사람은 회사에 나가서 또는 해외 여행을 가서도 인터넷이 되는 곳이면 어디서나 집에 있는 차량에 접속을 해서 영상을 보면서 컨트롤해서 집안을 돌아다닐 수가 있어요. 지역에 움직이는 CCTV가 되는 그런 기능입니다.
So using the app, I tried driving the RC car hammer myself, and it's quite addictive. It feels like going back in time and being a kid again.
I'm gonna spy on my children.
Oh, no.
It's easier than the helicopter. I like this. This is a little bit more fun, but it still needs a lot of practice, so gotta practice.
Is it difficult to maneuver?
It can be a little bit. So after I checked that out, then I took a look around at some other apps, and this is what I happened to come across. Take a look at this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So this is the augmented reality.
This is the augmented reality app, yep.
Unlike existing augmented reality, this is interactive. What I mean by interactive is that users can make and experience their own augmented reality. So if you run the application, the model will respond if you touch it or color it. This will all show up on the model, so you can see the responses.
So it's reality and virtual reality combined, and I feel like a child just being so fascinated with everything. Look at you having a good time.
Oh. Oh.
That is pretty cool, huh?
Does she climb on your fingers?
She just does that little So
twist
as you can see
there.
here, we got a few samples of one's pictures that have already been colored here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try too and see how this works. So right here, folks, my present for all of you viewers and for everyone back at the studio, for Young, for Jinju, and Minjung. Here it is, my present to you guys. Watch this. It's just for you folks.
Ooh.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
Just like that.
Ooh.
Korea
2D
Today.
to 3D. It does a little dance for you.
Written on its behind.
So there's another augmented reality app technology that gets my attention as well. If you look at your smartphone, something completely different unfolds in front of your eyes here.
Wow.
이미지 인식을 분석을 한 다음에 이걸 이제 서버로 정보를 보냅니다.
아, 네네.
분석된 정보에 약속된 컨텐츠를 이렇게 증강현실로 보여주는 거예요.
Look at that right there. Look at that. So all you need to do here is just use your phone and a whole new world of augmented reality shows up. Truly amazing. That is sweet.
Next year, we'll be seeing augmented reality education being used in elementary and middle school. So you'll be able to see it in the subjects of social studies and science. From an educational point of view, it will enhance the experience because dangerous or costly experiments that couldn't be conducted before will be available through augmented reality.
So there are also apps that come with unique functions. This for safety and security also helps you with your belongings and of course respond to quick emergencies. All right folks, here's what we're gonna do. I have in my hands right now, this is called a beacon boy, all right? Now what this can do is this can tell me if I've forgotten something like my bag. All right. Not only that, it can also tell me somebody's stolen it from me. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this inside the bag here. I forgot about it, and now what's gonna happen is when I walk away, our device here is gonna tell me, hey dummy, you forgot your bag, go get it. Here we go. So as I walk further away with my beacon boy inside that bag, I get a reminder on my phone. Look at this. Oh, look at it, there it is. There's our alarm. Hey dummy, you forgot your bag, go back and get it, right? What a great idea. So the Beacon Boy has more than uses than you might expect. You might use it for an umbrella as well. Checking out the weather, use your umbrella, it's gonna rain today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
That is pretty cool. And of course, depending on how it's set up, it can also provide information on traffic and related road conditions as well.
Take a facial mask.
And there are also security apps designed for emergency situations. The app navigates people from their current locations to nearby exits. Also, when they're in need of help, it alerts others of where they are.
이콘을 이용해서 실내 내비게이션을 만듭니다.
네.
신호감을 받아옵니다. 신호감을 받아오면은 이게 내가 현재 어디에 있구나라는 걸 알아낼 수가 있어요.
So other than that, there are also apps catering to specific locations such as hotels, allowing people to automatically check in and out or provide guests, even with coupons. So folks, I just finished up my tour of the 2014 Korea App Show, and I gotta tell you, I saw all kinds of apps, anything that you can think of, from entertainment, turning 2D images into 3D images, apps about safety, security. You gotta come down here and experience this. I had a really great time. I really look forward to next year.
Wow.
Now, we did see some cool stuff there, right?
We do, yes.
Now, this little thing is the hammer.
This is the hammer right here, equipped with automatic transmission and four-wheel drive power steering. No, that'd be kind of cool if it had that. But actually,
two-wheel drive.
Yeah, it does actually have some really cool features. The headlight there's, you can turn those on.
Oh, wow.
You can turn on your blinkers as well, your left and right. Also your hazard signals.
How do you do that? Wow.
Using this, yeah, using your smartphone there. Also, you can see it has shock absorbers on each side, the corners there. And these big wheels. I mean, so you can literally take this thing anywhere in the world. It's really durable to handle all those situations. So.
And also, it's like a toy. So
it's like a toy.
It can be a toy where a boy, such as myself, can actually pick up that phone and you can see it through the camera. What's happening right there?
Can we see this in action, though?
Yeah, here, I'll show you here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, put it down a little bit. Maybe
you
one
can see
of
the
the
tires.
tools.
Actually, would you mind holding this here for a second? Hold that for just like in the air right there, and I'll show you. I'll give the wheels a little spin there.
Okay, so.
Just like that, using all your smartphones there.
And then turn the
wheel. Pretty
wheel.
cool, yeah.
And
of
the
course
lights,
you got,
I think, just came on.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have the built-in camera there.
The
right,
camera
right in
is
the windshield
right,
right over
right?
there. Yeah, and it
then,
can record for you anywhere in the world. There's a built-in Wi-Fi, so I mean, you can literally use this thing anywhere in the world if you wanted to.
So you can see behind us that this is the image that we're getting right now.
Yep.
This is how it works, and you
Here
see
in
all
our
the little
studio.
clusters, the instrument clusters, and basically it's something that you can play with, but at the same time it could be used as a surveillance tool, which I find it a little bit amusing. You can keep that in your home and just spy on the kids.
What are you trying to do here, huh?
Spy on the kids to see if they're doing anything bad.
I like these books, and this is a coloring book, and you said that just by placing your phone over it, these images will come to life.
Exactly. So one thing I want to mention here is you can purchase these coloring books from this company here, and also you can go to their website and you could download several more pictures that are there, print them off, and then you can color them. And of course, I already colored a few for you already here today. Didn't I do a nice job, everybody? Except where's my other one? Here's the other one right here. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that is pretty, but we want to see it
so now,
come to life.
Here, let's give it a try, shall we? Okay. So I'm going to take my smartphone here, put it over our image.
So it's
we can see
rhinoceros.
it.
Yeah, see right there?
Wow.
Yeah, and I can pick it up, look at that. I can make him bigger. I can twist him.
I can pet him too.
Yeah.
Here's my I can pet him.
He's breathing right there. It gives you educational information as well. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Wow. Rhinoceros kind of came to life, huh?
It was a lot of fun to play with that one there.
And this must be the beacon boy
That's the
that
beacon
helps
boy.
you remember where your belongings are
Exactly.
or give you information about the weather. I heard that it is utilized in various parts of our life already.
Yes, it is. In fact, coming up, what you're going to be able to do with that beacon boy is you can go and use that when you go shopping. And say, for example, I go to a department store, I want to buy a new pair of shoes. That will tell me exactly where I have to go to find those shoes. In addition to that, I can use that device and scan the tag, and I can make my purchase exactly right there on the spot.
You know, umbrellas are one of the most common things that people lose all the time. You just go take an umbrella and leave it there. But with this little gadget, I guess no worries about that.
No worries anymore.
So right now we're talking about indoors, right? I mean, is it something like a GPS where you can actually use it from a certain amount of distance?
You can, yes. See, inside or outside, doesn't even matter there. Both locations there.
This is what Ubbi.
This is the Ubbi here. Yes, the Ubbi with the app that comes with this one here. This will give you like information in case there's like an emergency, a fire that breaks out either in your home or in your office. And also if you go to a museum or an exhibition, this will give you information of like all the pictures that you're looking at. It'll tell you all the information about that. Really cool device as well.
You know, this beacon boy, I mean, it's just not for, you can actually put this in your kid's backpack or something.
You can if you want to,
If you go into a shopping center or something like that, right?
Yep.
And then, for example, let's say just an incident occurs where you lose them at a certain area, then you can
find them using that beacon boy.
I'm going to keep this for later.
Stealing there. Wow, nifty little gadgets here and great apps too. Thank you so much. I think it's the first time we all went, ooh, all the time. Thank you so
Derek.
much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, well, this is where we say goodbye on this Tuesday morning.
All right, it's going to be a cold one going out through the day, so dress warmly out there, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.